Hello everyone, today I'm going to be watching Path of Achra Review Smuggler Edition, trademark by SsethTzeentach. Holy, Path of Achra, Achra? Yeah, Patch of Achra, or Achra, who knows, sorry for voice and a bit of cold I got. I just woke up and it was like negative 13 degrees. And I was in a t-shirt, and I just started sniffling and everything. So yeah, now things are slightly gonna go faster because I secured Sunday finally. Holy, I've been waiting for Sunday for a very long time, but finally secured Sunday. So we just need more summons. Other than that, oh man, let's start in the count of 3, 2, 1. Go.
Hey, struggler. Seth here. If I sound sick, I am sick. I ate rare water buffalo from Zhengzhou wet market, and I feel ill at ease. Hello, Chud. Apply your finasteride and strap in, because I have a new hyperfixation. It's difficult to recommend a roguelike, with the full knowledge that I'm asking you to memorize keybinds for an entire new hyperfixation. It's difficult to recommend a roguelike, with the full...
What the fuck is that? Why is that a giant
knowledge that I'm asking you to memorize keybinds for an entire keyboard and dedicate the next week of your adult life to using advanced inventory management to haul a diesel engine across town in a game with less visual fidelity than the graphing calculator I used to cheat on my math exam. Path of Achra is not only the graphing...
Yo, it makes the fucking line when you give it, I mean, to be fair, that's not real though. Can it make a real one? How does it like know which bit is like 1, 2, 3, 4? I mean, how do you know? This is actually awesome, to be fair.
Calculator I used to cheat on my math exam.
M
Path
and
of
D needs
Achra
to be
is
numbers,
not only the fastest roguelike out there, it's also the only one that can be played by holding a single key. Similarly, you can speedrun adverts by pressing L on your keyboard.
Buenos días, amigos.
You can speedrun...
Bro, holy shit, this is like... It's... What? What? That's actually... That's insane.
Adverts by pressing L on your keyboard.
Buenos días, amigos.
I'm currently in Mexico. Don't ask why. I've got just one small problem. All of my favorite shows are region locked. And by region locked, I of course mean watching anything other than Dragon Ball Z in my area is punishable by death due to regional licensing agreements.
Wait.
Don't ask why. I've got just one small problem. All of my favorite shows are region locked. And
oh shit,
by region locked, I of course mean watching anything other than Dragon Ball Z in my area is punishable by death due to regional licensing agreements. But if you're seeing this video, that means I didn't get caught because I use ExpressVPN and was able to get access to my sweet content from all...
Speaking of anime, can we talk about how good One Piece is? Bro, I assume it's gonna be just like some adventure of some kid doing bullshit. No, it's actually, bro, every enemy, every ally, every potential ally has like a backstory. It's just insane. I felt for so many of the characters because, bro, every episode is like a cry inducing. It's just so much good shit happening. Oh man, I'm slowly falling in love with One Piece. Though I'm very early. It's like I started. It's like first season is like 100 episodes. And I'm at episode 30.
Use ExpressVPN and was able to get access to my sweet content from all over the globe. ExpressVPN routes all of your internet traffic through a secure encrypted tunnel, so nobody, not even
El Resplandeciente,
knows what you're up to when you go online. All it takes is one click, and now my internet traffic is a secret for me and me alone. Even ExpressVPN has no idea what I'm doing.
Oh shit, voice meter banana. That's brilliant. You know, says Chad when he uses voice meter banana. If you have never used a voice meter banana, use it. It's a mixer that you can basically create unlimited amount of soundtracks for your computer, and it doesn't need to be just the same stereo mixing piece of shit that Windows has. Like, can you motherfuckers at Microsoft create a better mixing audio system? Like, for your Windows, it already supports 6 fucking audio jacks and God knows how many USB jacks. So just make a fucking mixer for it. But Voice Meter Banana is perfect if you want to use one. And it actually supports plugins too, bro. You can basically put plugins that I put in my microphone and install them on any fucking audio system. You can basically install Lighthouse and make it work with Discord too. It's insane the amount of potential this support has, and it's a freeware, bro.
Their trusted server technology, which, if you didn't know, means they are literally incapable of storing your data. Now, I'm secure. Hold on, I've got another problem. Every website is defaulting to this strange alien language I've never seen before. I brought it to the local university. Hold on, I've got another problem. Every website is defaulting to this strange alien language I've never seen before.
What the fuck is that? Hoger, Mojras del Hoger. Oh, it's just
I brought it to the local university, and after an hour of debate between the world's most anthropologists, they've identified it as Spanish. It would take a lifetime of study to decide which of these myriad incomprehensible buttons are hiding the language options. A lifetime that I cannot spare. Thankfully, ExpressVPN allows you to easily spoof your location to one of over 100 countries. Just pick your location, click connect, and you're done. Much better. Right now, you can take advantage.
How the fuck did you connect so fast?
And you're done.
It usually takes me like an hour to find a server that actually connects, and the protocol that works. If you're in a free country that doesn't need a VPN, this is awesome for you. It probably works for you. But if you're on a banned VPN, the banned country, a sanctioned country, which needs VPN, you really needs VPN. If I don't have VPN, I'm basically disconnected from all of the internet. It's just simply impossible. So for a VPN to not work here, what the fuck is the purpose of it? Make the router setting, bring the router setting back. Please bring the old gen setting back. Bring the L2TP settings back. I used to put ExpressVPN on my router, and I could just do whatever I want without just connecting and disconnecting. And I could give it to the rest of the family too. Just VPN free internet. But now it's just
right now, you can take advantage of ExpressVPN's Black Friday, Cyber Monday offer to get the absolute best VPN deal you'll find all year.
I don't condone them selling routers.
By scanning the QR code on screen, clicking the link in
but
the
their
description
services
box
are
below,
good.
or by going to expressvpn.com/Seth. The cartels won't wait for you, but I will. Holding tab will attack the closest enemy, pick items off the ground, and take the next exit automatically. Do not mistake this ease of entry for lack of depth. Because I've played this for several dozen hours, and believe me, I don't know what I'm doing. It's very simple. You pick a race, a class, and a god. This is similar to real life, where, based on channel demographics, most of you are Albanian. You pick a race, a class, and a god. This is similar to real life, where, based on channel demographics, most of you are Albanian.
That's actually insane. Most of mine are US, Japan, and China.
Each time you kill enough enemies, your glory rises, which is this game's version of leveling up. This gives you a choice of attributes: strength, dexterity, willpower, or vigor, and gives a point to spend on powers. Powers are abilities in one of 9 elements.
Jesus, what the fuck, dude? There's so many. That's so many!
Playstyle. Of these, you can mix and match up to 7 powers from a total of 3 different elements. Or you can just hit random and spontaneously die because it gives you plague chant. Dropping enough points in certain powers fulfills requirements, allowing you to select a prestige class, which will power scale your character from good to ridiculous. Completing the dungeon takes you to the Overland, where you're given a choice of up to 3 different paths you can take on the path of Achra. These give exact information on what items you'll find and which enemies you'll encounter. Items are important for survival, and enemies are doubly important.
I love that the fucking sprite the sprite visualizes the item. It's just not, an item that you have, probably. Just think you have it. No, it actually visualizes the item.
Enemies you'll encounter. Items are important for survival, and enemies are doubly important, because if you don't read the fine print of their description, you'll die without knowing that a Storm Knight ignores 90% of your defense and shreds your early tank. Everything in this game works by interacting with a set of triggers. For example, we have a Cyclops Warrior of Marduk. On attack, he deals blunt damage equal to half his current life bar to adjacent enemies. On game turn, he applies 7 points to himself, amplified by his class special. I take points into heavyweight, which deal damage to the attacker when I shrug off the attack, meaning my armor score is higher than the enemy's hit, which is the damage of an attack that connected because the enemy's accuracy is higher than my dodge. However, I have a shield. My shield blocks most attacks. Block 90% over armor, and I rarely benefit. This is an example of antagonistic triggers. I want to be hit, so I drop the shield. field. Our racial passive triggers on attack, not on hit, which means it goes off regardless if our attack actually connects. I have no natural healing, which doesn't matter because we take vigor each time glory rises, which you can automate in the bottom right. The higher my health pool, the more damage I do. So I hold tab and become catatonic for the next few minutes. Then I pump 10 points into heavyweight, which lets me take the Gallus prestige class, which deals blunt damage in a 4-tile radius each turn, and every time I shrug off an
there is
attack
nothing gonna be
equivalent to my
alive then.
encumbrance, which is massive, by the way, resulting in me being an incredibly slow fat fuck who relies.
I have no idea what any of these numbers even equate to.
Equivalent to my encumbrance, which is massive, by the way, resulting in me being an incredibly slow fat fuck.
What was that
my
even?
Encumbrance, which is
Like inflexibility, 8. Like, so what? You can't use certain weapons or something? What does that encompass?
massive, by the way, resulting in me being an incredibly slow fat fuck who relies on enemies killing themselves by attacking my gigantic armor score. This is my 600-pound life, or as some might say, the ideal female form. Our god of choice, Marduk, transforms helmets we pick up to become even heavier, so we do even more damage. On the way, I managed to pick up a Maruna Sash, which makes us attack adjacent enemies on step, meaning our racial passive now triggers from simply walking up to enemies. We take the heaviest armor with the highest inflexibility, because we also found the Inu Greatsword.
Bro, I have no... what? Okay. So... what is he trying to... what is he doing?
God of choice, Marduk, transforms helmets we pick up to become even heavier, so we do even more damage.
Okay, so encumbrance is our... I mean, is the amount we can hold, or the amount we have, or weight, basically. And that is equates to our damage?
On the way, I managed to pick up a Maruna Sash, which makes us attack adjacent enemies on step, meaning our racial passive now triggers from simply walking up to enemies. We take the heaviest armor with the highest inflexibility, because we also found the Inu Greatsword, which, on attack per point of inflexibility, deals ice damage in a path based on encumbrance.
What the fuck? Literally buffs you based on your fucking inflexibility?
Every attack I do.
Oh, heavy armor creates inflexibility, because, well, I mean, you're not gonna be fucking flexible and dexterous and heavy armor.
Out 5 volleys of ice. Inflexibility divides speed and willpower damage bonuses, but we're incredibly obese and retarded, so we don't care. Any items that aren't needed can be burned for extra stats by mousing over them and tapping free. At this point, we stack strength, get fatter, and keep holding tab. Keep holding tab so long you win the game. Congratulations on beating Path of Achra. On the first cycle of humility. Good luck on the second cycle of degradation. I used to think the 6th cycle of annihilation.
Oh shit, there's cycles, and it's
until I reached the 16th cycle of rupture, but now I'm at the 32nd cycle of outer dark.
What? The outer
and
dark
time is melting. Consuming Century Egg was a poor decision. Cycles are this game's way of stress testing a build. A solid understanding of triggers will get you through the first cycle, which is the intended difficulty. But you'll need ridiculous synergy to survive ahead. Enemies are more brutal, but the trade-off is more experience, as you'll reach your prestige class before you even finish the first 2 floors. And believe me, you're not going to survive very far without it. Glory or Death unlocks other classes, races, and gods for you to combine. It doesn't take very long. A couple successful
This is awesome.
runs are all you need to unlock every option. The only purpose
it's just that the stripes give me a bit of like the headache. If just so many of them. This reminds me of that free FNAF game.
them is to keep new
RPG
players from
game.
getting overwhelmed and to punish me.
Oh man, that sucks. To be fair, and there is one cedar too. That's it even sucks more. And yes, always force your download because it just stays there idle. Don't do anything. Qubit torrent is still fucked up, and I hated that he's using the white mode, not the dark mode, because it's just so much more beautiful.
Because I didn't pay the first time, and I have to do it all over again. Tab builds are some of the most prominent, but there's another kind of gameplay. It's called standing still. Quamar, ascetic of Fada. We put everything into Astra hunting. We remove his armor, and this is what happens
garlic
when I
build,
click
garlic
spacebar.
build.
He Neon Genesis across the room, very Evangelion. Explanation: each time I stand still by hitting spacebar, Astro Hunting teleports me to the closest enemy and deals damage. And if I have no armor equipped, this also triggers on kill. Normally, after teleporting, you receive stasis, which prevents further teleportation. However, our god removes stasis on standstill, leading to a chain reaction where each time I score a kill, I trigger astro hunting again and repeat the process. The build itself is garbage. The important thing is that you have another key to press. Summon builds are self-explanatory.
That's good. That's good. Automation is always good.
For you, vtubers, Druid of Ninhur. Your class weapon deals poison damage to the closest enemy on summon. Prestiging in Briar Mage amplifies all poison.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Damage by the stacks of Entangle on an enemy, which you apply each time you summon. As most summons take place on entrance, you nuke the entire floor before the turn even begins. You win the game by entering a room. We've reached perfection because we're pressing no keys at all. Grove Cult fills the screen.
I need that. I need to learn that. That build, whatever that was, I need that.
Win the game by entering a room.
That is a
We've
good
reached
build.
perfection because we're pressing no keys at all. Grove Cult fills the screen and heals you each time you summon. Grave Chant summons cadavers each time you make a kill, which propagates the feedback loop. In the event you don't win outright, Arbormancy and Overgrowth applies Entangle each time a summon attacks or is attacked. Venokinesis deals poison each time you entangle, and Dread Legion randomly steroids your forces each time they die.
It's like he created a chain reaction of like just death and misery. And without even doing anything. This is
which
awesome.
are instantly replaced because we summon
Maybe
two
that,
Briarfall,
moving
two Keezes,
and
a Vine Spawn,
to
and
be
a
fair, without
Hatchling
attacking.
every turn. Despite dumping everything into willpower, you'll quickly reach your summon limit or simply run out of space. Star Cult applies Meditate each time you summon, which, combined with the Entangle stacks from Briar Mage
man.
and your
If
willpower,
you had Sunday
chunks
for this
the final
fucking game.
boss from several million to
Jesus.
0. The
All
king
those summons
of many colors.
taking
I
action
don't like any
immediately.
of them. In this game, there's only one active ability. Prayer. Each god like any of them. In this game,
I hit the ball. Bro, it's Spider-Man, to be fair. And that's a Sunni prayer. If you look at the hands, you can understand. Shia have their hand next to each other. But at the same time, that's a very nice image too. Just a Spider-Man prayer.
there's only one active ability. Prayer. Each god has free prayers which charge on different triggers. Do you enjoy putting your testicles in a vice grip and
Is that fucking Destiny?
squeezing them until
Probably
they burst
not.
like a little grape? Well, I've got just a build for you. Lokra, Priest of the Worm. The Worm is a god that corrodes every enemy on screen when they move or attack, and heals you for the stacks of corrosion under the condition that his first prayer isn't fully charged. What does it do? It pours acid on you.
Jesus
If
Christ!
enemies are still alive, it heavily corrodes your character. If enemies
That's
are dead,
fucked up.
you nuke yourself for 300 psychic damage. It charges each time you enter a new area. Damage. It charges.
So do Earth apply 20 corrosion to yourself, and if any enemies deals psychology to yourself. What the fuck is the point of this then?
Each time you enter a new area, so you have a
What
choice
is the point
between
of that?
delayed or immediate pain. It's well worth it, and a single point in life chant outweighs the chemical burn. Status effects are incredibly dangerous conditions if allowed to stack. However, by
Run! Why are you? What the fuck? That was a
taking
gas
place in
gas.
master power such as Master Scorch, Freeze, Bleed, Entangle, or Doom, we are no
There's a
longer
gas
affected
tank.
and benefit from the condition instead. Sinking 20 points into Master Doom lets us prestige into Torturer. Each time we apply a harmful
Oh,
effect to
shit.
ourselves, Torturer copies
Save.
it to a random enemy according to our current stacks. Master Doom
Let's
applies
go.
Doom to yourself on ally or enemy death. Priest amplifies
She's an arch wizard. Apply 50% stay.
status effects, giving us 50% more Doom.
Arch
The Worm's
wizard.
second prayer charges on Standstill, but we take
One
projection
spell
to make our
using
prayers
motherfucker.
count as Standstill, which means praying now charges the prayer. We make
Echo.
use of our infinite prayer with Necromancy, which on prayer summons cadavers. We fill the screen with trash summons for the purpose of killing them off. On ally death, they give us Doom stacks. Torturer
Why
propagates
though?
and
Why
copies
would-
our Doom
why would we
stacks.
want-
When attacked, a creature takes 5 death damage per stack of Doom, which importantly doesn't have to connect. So my skeleton swipes at the enemy, misses, and nukes them for
What? 6
6 million damage. Welcome to Torturer. This is one of the most mechanically complex builds with the most actions on screen. So at this point, I recommend turning on fast mode, turning off VSync, and uncapping the frame rate. It's also incredibly fragile. Early game sucks ass, and if you encounter a Firebird, Thunder Priest, or Edlight, you won't have to worry about any of that.
Transforms you into flame, you die. How the fuck do you resist that? If a motherfucking can just transform us into a fucking flame and...
As your
What?
run is over. With that in mind, here's something a little more
Goblin
reliable.
gangbang son.
Goblin Sorcerer of Apophis. Apophis gives strength each floor you climb, at the cost of taking 7% of your max health each time you're attacked. This is not a problem, because enemies will never reach you. 1 point in Burning Ooze, 10 points in Oozemancy.
Oozemancy. There's 20 number of allied oozes. This is fucking awesome. On a prayer, summon a number of oozes. Summon amount equals a skill level.
Which
That's
summons
brilliant.
a number of blobs equivalent to your skill level each time you pray. Each time you score a kill, your prayers reset, making this an infinite loop. To stop nuking your own summons, take Invigoration, Projection to make prayers count as stand. Still, Grove Cult to self-sustain on summon, and Dump for Rest into Star Cult. Anything that doesn't
Bro, this is very complex.
give Meditate or Trigger on summon, toss into the fire, and get infinite speed because of your racial ability. Prestige into Ill Prophet and fill the screen with purple, and then punish people for standing on it. Or just go Archmagus and stack infinite Meditate. Conversely, if you'd like to speedrun the game,
Come on, why is it backwards? All you had to do, download the Arabic format and go to the edit properties. What do you call that? Like there's an option when you put Eastern and Asian languages to work, and it doesn't write them backwards because that doesn't mean anything. It reads Artesim. What? Artesim.
Aslan of Ikshana, pray twice, and die on the second turn. In all seriousness, Virya Aslan of Eris. Aslans hate praying, and Eris hates prayer. They're
Just like
perfect
a
for each
tick-
other.
oh my,
Eris
yes.
rewards you for taking the most dangerous path.
Was that two same people? I think.
Eris
No.
rewards you for taking the most dangerous path by upgrading
For a
your
second, I
main
thought
hand
this
weapon
was
so
Judas
hard
Smith.
that it hits for 1,000,000 by the time you clear the first zone. Her prayers
3
do
million.
nothing, but as long as they're fully charged, you become nearly invincible. Taking a lethal blow when a prayer is fully charged triggers divine intervention,
Baba preserve two life.
preventing death and draining your charges. An apostle can exploit this
That's
by
shit.
taking a god with easy charging prayers and dying repeatedly to reset his charges.
sure
Pair this
possible.
with Gortide for an even bigger nuke that scales with missing health. I couldn't figure this one out. Sometimes a synergy is there, but you just can't piece it together into a working build. This was the case for me with transform builds. I tried for the longest time to make Drake form viable. Prestiging into Ogum triggers longest time to make Drake form viable. Prestiging into Ogum triggers prayers on initial attack. I can't pray or receive divine intervention, but I
That
do
sucks.
get to be a dragon. Then I wake up
Era the Nagui, scepter of Ejdaha. Holy shit, finally. Ejdaha is Iranian word for
and
dragon.
realize Azada is a shitty god, and I could be doing this with
Ishtaha.
literally anyone else. They're still interesting, and if you ever want to disappoint your deity of choice, prestige horror form and watch the combat log as you bleed someone for 1,000,000
Oh no. A roasted
damage. You
Joe
receive
Rogan.
as many stacks of horror form as the damage you take, which uniquely goes into the several thousands. Triggering a different transformation replaces and inherits goes into the several thousands. Triggering a different transformation
Wait, did you turn into that icicle, or the icicle turned you
replaces
into
and
himself?
inherits all of the previous stacks. Brood Umpuad of Humbaba. Each time we take damage, we get 1,000 stacks of horror form. Each time we're attacked but don't take damage, we trigger our class ability and convert this into 1,000 stacks of jackal form, which gives
What?
us approximately 3,000 speed. To put this into perspective, a game turn takes place at a speed of 5. High speed is crucial for fragile characters, and nothing is more fragile than basing your entire build on walking. On step is a lovely gimmick that doesn't work because level generation will kill you at every turn. I never thought I'd be saying this, but I am countered by a narrow corridor. That doesn't mean it's not fun. Tengu Nartaka
What?
of
What does
Tengri
it do,
Impic.
though?
That doesn't work because level generation will nothing is more fragile than basing your entire build on walking. On step is a lovely
Initial attack. Performing a number of extra attacks against an adjacent... What? What does it on a step? Oh, on a step! And initial attack. So a stepping does the
gimmick
same
that
thing
doesn't
as
work
what?
because level generation will kill you at every turn. I never thought I'd be saying this, but I am countered
Who would you
by a
attacking,
narrow
though?
corridor. That doesn't mean it's not fun. Tengu Nartaka of Tengri generates insane amounts of charge from fighting barehanded
Tengri.
while wearing his shoulder piece.
Bruh.
Taking Master Charge gives us speed per stack of charge, which you build up by stepping with Electromancy.
1351
Technique
dodge.
lets us shred enemies as we walk past them. Astrostoicism teleports away enemies whenever you're cornered, and prestiging into Elise generates even more charge. Tangri gives insane
What does the
dodge
charge
per point
do,
of
though?
speed, and you'll feel like a complete god. Until something smacks you from a non-attack source, and you
Okay,
die
I can
in a
see
single
charges
hit.
happening all over the
of these
place.
builds per point of speed, and you'll feel like a complete god. Until something smacks you from a non-attack source, and you die in a single hit. All of these builds require powers. What if you took no powers at all? Well,
Holy
if you somehow
shit.
survive to Glory 20 without a
Oblivion
single
dude is
ability, you
just
can prestige as Anroth and double all of your current stats. Volkite Warrior of Dorok. Dorok gives us poise each time we're attacked, amplified by our class
Poise. This one poise. What is
passive.
poise?
Volkite supplements our damage
Poise
by
is the way
burning
you hold
nearby
your
enemies
weapon.
based on the weight of our equipment. As long as
At
we
least
don't
your
move,
weapon's
our poise
efficiency,
stacks will
you know.
tank us
I
to
think
Glory 20,
maybe.
even after prestige.
Or your armor's efficiency? Something to do with your
The
equipment.
weight of our equipment. As long as we don't move, our poise stacks will tank us to Glory 20. Even after prestiging, we take no powers, because the Anroth perk is even stronger. If we have no powers, each time our glory rises, we heal to full and upgrade our main and offhand weapon with an extra 100 hidden block. This
That's
doesn't
good.
sound significant
That's
on
really
its
good.
own, but bear with me. We pump nothing but strength, which after doubling by Anroth goes into the triple digits.
my
Each
God.
point of strength increases our block by 10%. This is applied to the base value, which is continually increased by Anroth. This leads us to having a shield with more than 1,000% extra block. In the absence of powers, this entire build
I hate that it
hinges
doesn't
on
go
finding a
higher than
single item.
90%.
The Arge
That makes
Spear,
sense.
which, on attack, deals ice damage in a path to the
It seems
target
that some classes
equal
need
to
to
our
be
block.
hit.
Since
They need
this
to be
number is
damaged.
about 300,000,
do
we
damage.
annihilate every cycle in the game. Or we fail to find it because of poor RNG and this build falls apart. Success in the higher RNG and this build
The overlook gazes at you and you die. Just gazing.
falls apart. Success in the higher cycles is less about skill and more of a dice roll if I actually get the items I need. In summary, there's a lot of builds out there, from berserkers that benefit from fighting completely nude to hemogoblin summoners that win by self-harm. It's impossible to cover them all, which is what
This
makes it
same
so
thing
fun.
happens
Everyone
with
finds something
barbarians.
different. I cheesed through
Just
with
to
a
be
dodge
naked.
stacking mesmer and fury crafted endlessly until a friend
You get you get more defensive. You're naked.
I cheesed through with a dodge stacking mesmer and fury crafted endlessly until a friend saw the game and found a better build than anything I ever made in under an hour. This game is a fusion between highbrow and higher chromosome. The best builds are either made by master fury crafters or a Down syndrome savant, and there's no in between.
Okay, just open a Notepad++ or a Notepad whatever, and just write a build for yourself based on what you know. That's what I used to do when I wanted to play something fun in Dota, because it was just all the same at some
Many
point.
games out there are wide
Just
as the
write
lake
a
and
build
deep
that you
as a
wanna
puddle.
do and
Path
try
of
to do
Achra
it.
is a kiddie
It's
pool
funny.
which you drown in, and 100 hours later, I'm still sinking.
No!
It's a slimline
You're not
product as a
gonna
puddle. Path
recommend
of
it.
Achra is a kiddie pool which you drown in, and 100 hours later, I'm still sinking. It's a slimline product with gameplay first, and in terms of graphics, yeah, I guess it has color. For the Zoomers
yeah.
that don't have an
could
internal
be better.
monologue or the ability to visualize an apple inside their mind's eye, here's what the
Beautiful.
game looks like to the rest of us. My only critique is that the sprites are sometimes such low fidelity that I can't interpret what they are. The golden litter is meant to be two hobgoblins carrying gold. I thought it was a caked up demon turd.
Yeah, that's just not that's
With
ass.
muscular
What
legs
the
wearing
fuck is
heels.
that?
Naturally, it's not for everyone, but if you're
good.
neurodivergent and you're
I understand, bro. The level of depth inside the gameplay is worthy of
Your
the
only
game. But
limitation
don't say
is
that
your
the graphics
creativity
are
and your
top.
stubbornness to see it through. Even when it falls apart, restarting is a momentary setback on the path of Achra. In keeping with the lore of this game, my final score is don't know, don't care, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you. 10 out of 10. It's $10. Go get it. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned.
$10.
A warm thanks to the many
10 bucks
members
is a
of the
lot of
Merchants
money.
Guild, generously funding and bankrolling
I make
these
20
videos.
bucks.
You're all truly wonderful.
10
Have
is
a
a
Merry
lot.
Christmas, and I'll see you all next year. Hey, struggler.
Next year, to be fair, these videos, this is just a lot. But oh my god, this game is complex as fuck. This reminds me when you could. I mean, to be fair, it's way more complex than something like, what was it, Vampire Survivors. But at the same time, it reminds me of that to some degree, and it reminds me of some of the other games Seth plays usually. There was another game like this which was just stripes killing each other. It was way more simplistic, but this looks interesting. Oh my god, if you could learn like a few steps of the way to understand what is going on. But yeah, I assume at first you don't know, but eventually you will figure it out. I'm gonna get it. Just because it seems to be a good offline game to have. But yes, thanks for watching everyone. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. And again, sorry for my voice.